To my right. Alright, despawn, buddy. Fuck.
Unfortunately, I don't have the rights to play The Doors' Light My Fire or the Trashman Surfin' Bird, so we'll have to make do with stock groovy music. But it's time to spark up, dudes, cause we're going back in country like our forefathers with Hell Let Loose, Vietnam. Which is being played here on my PS5 with a futuristic and cool physical copy. Hell Let Loose Vietnam is developed by Expression Games and published by Team 17, and much like the first Hell Let Loose, the development team is going to be adding new maps, weapons, and fixes in the coming months and hopefully beyond.
Zeus, you should have a shit ton of guys over there.
Sort of a disclaimer here because I'm sure some people will point it out. On paper, this is technically a live service game, but not in the same vein as Fortnite or any of the other skin-focused games. It still has a shop and a season pass of sorts, but that is strictly for cosmetics. There is no battle pass or anything like that, at least currently. I hope you don't have plans to add that, Team 17, because it wouldn't work for this game. If you're worried about the historical accuracy of the cosmetics or anything like that, I'd recommend looking at the skins they released for the first game that was set in World War II. But as far as the new maps and weapons are concerned, those will be available to everyone when they come out. I know a season pass for skins may be a bummer for a lot of people, but if it means this game will be supported for years to come, I will gladly support it financially, because I think this game is fantastic. Now that that statement is out of the way, Hell Let Loose Vietnam is a 50v50 tactical multiplayer first-person shooter, all set in the wonderful time of the Vietnam War, complete with a launch of 6 large-scale maps with a choice of 4 game modes, which don't let the small map and game mode count fool you. These maps are huge, and in each game mode, point locations are selected almost at random. So, while you may be playing on the same 6 maps constantly, there is enough variety and space in each map that no experience is ever the same. But to get the true Hell Let Loose Vietnam experience, ask your friends to get the game. I'd recommend at least 2 others because this game is a squad-based shooter through and through, and not just in infantry. There's also tank squads and mortar teams, which both of these can have 3 people in them. So if you got yourself some battle buddies, tanks and mortars can be a lot of fun. As for infantry squads, you can have a max of 6 players in a squad, and there are a total of 7 classes to choose from, which each class fills your standard role, such as Grenadier, who has access to the RPG, and Medic, who revives teammates, and so on and so forth. Pretty standard stuff, especially if you played the first Hell Let Loose. Although I mainly played as squad leader, mostly because I'd watch other people play leader roles in games and completely f*** it up. One of those things, if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. Much like the first game, Hell Let Loose Vietnam has a level up system that requires you to play each class separately. So unfortunately for me, Squad Leader is its own separate class. Almost each level up in a class unlocks either a new weapon or just simply the ability to carry more stuff. And from what I can tell, for most of the classes you'll want to be at least level 5 with each of them, level 10 being the max. For example, the Engineer and Grenadier at level 5 unlock the Satchel Charge. This is almost a requirement for easily taking out enemy tanks on foot.
Fuck you, bitch!
We got an NG putting a Satchel Charge on it.
Oh, I hope I didn't kill him.
I think he planted it.
Oh god, that'll kill everybody in the fucking vicinity.
I can hear the
Jesus fucking
Holy
Christ.
shit.
As of this recording, the weapons on offer are what you would expect for a Vietnam War era video game. So that means M16s and AKs as far as the eye can see, with the occasional Mosin, but currently the next big update that was just announced from their 2026 roadmap, they will be adding the M14 and SKS sometime in September. But honestly, those two should have been in the game at launch. It's like not having napalm and war crimes in a Vietnam game, which they got that in time at least. While the weapons all feel and sound great, possibly the biggest complaint I have with the game is you cannot pick up dropped enemy or friendly weapons, which does not make any sense to me. While this may have been the case in the first game, but that game was based in World War II, so a completely different time period and theater of war. I don't mind some historical inaccuracies because after all it is a video game that is trying to be fun and balanced, but Hell Let Loose Vietnam is based on a guerrilla conflict. I'm not a historian by any means, but last time I checked, guerrilla-style wars are fought with weapons wherever they can be found. So in that sense, why not at least make it a faction thing where only the North Vietnamese can use American weapons? At least that. Or just do what everyone wants and allow people to pick up weapons.
Type shit.
I think their garrison's gone.
I would say. Or if it isn't, well, it's getting. They're not going to be able to spawn for a while.
No. Oh, shit, watch out.
Picking up guns aside, when it comes to Hell Let Loose Vietnam being played on a controller though, I think it works pretty damn well. The menus may need some retouching done. I've selected the wrong spawn a couple times, which it may be fully my error, but when it comes to being in the field, it plays like your average shooter on console. I especially like how they have the left bumper set to being a push-to-talk button when communicating in chat, which is not something you often see in console games. Usually everyone is open mic'd up with fire alarms chirping and vacuums on 24/7. Obviously, I'd prefer to play with a mouse and keyboard, but my PC would burst into flames if I played Hell Let Loose on there. So I'm stuck on console. Hopefully they add mouse and keyboard support to the console version. That would be nice. Graphically, I think the game looks pretty decent, even when playing on a large screen television. I do have HDR on, so my capture card has to tweak the colors a bit for easy recording and editing, so it may look slightly different on your guys' end. I am playing on a PS5 Pro, which currently Hell Let Loose Vietnam doesn't fully utilize the better hardware. I have read that overall playing on the PS5 Pro is a slightly smoother experience than the base console. And there have been some noticeable graphical glitches that the dev team seem to be on top of and improving, such as the shimmer you'll see in the jungle foliage. One honestly strange complaint I've seen online is that enemies are not visible when they are prone or crouched in the jungle, which I think that problem is honestly a huge compliment to the development team, because not being able to see the enemy in an FPS game based on the Vietnam War is nothing but historically accurate. So as a general rule, walk, don't run in Hell Let Loose.
Fuck, I had them all near me. Is OP gone?
Jade, who just got you?
When in the middle of a massive firefight, the overall soundscape of each battle is quite chaotic. While after playing for a while, you'll be able to figure out if it's a friend or foe around the corner by the sound each gun makes, even when in the distance. I do have to say, they really need to turn down the noise you make when walking. Maybe not when you're in the jungle, but when you're on like a sidewalk, people could easily hear you even if they're around the block. If for some reason you couldn't tell from a lot of the footage, having a mic and communicating with your squad or command is a major part of Hell Let Loose Vietnam. But as a piece of advice, if you're going to play squad leader, get ready for some commanders to never stop talking. Commanders, in my experience, are either chill and will do whatever you need, such as dropping supplies for garrisons or napalm an area when you need it, or they will talk your ear off constantly and order your squad around as if you are on their chessboard. I understand communication is key in this game, but holy shit, man, there have been countless times people have talked to me in proximity chat and I have to ask them to tell me what they just said again because someone in command chat won't shut up for a second. I've even had to tell my friends in TeamSpeak that as well. Seriously, some things just don't need to be said even in a tactical game like this.
Yo.
So with all this talk of patching and even a roadmap for the rest of the year, it sounds like this game needs another month in the oven, in which it kind of does. There was a major crashing issue I was having that seems to have been fixed while I was recording these past 2 weeks, but there is most definitely a need for balance changes, particularly when it comes to how vehicles take damage from RPGs. Unless there is some sort of trick I'm not aware of, helicopters for the most part need 2 direct RPG hits to go down. This also includes 2 rounds of HE from an NVA tank, which, listen man, if you're able to get a hit off of a moving helicopter, you deserve the kill. This needs to be changed ASAP. RPGs against tanks, on the other hand, are a somewhat different story. Currently, it takes at least 4 rear hits of RPG rounds to take out a tank. While some may say that number should be 2 hits, I will say the tank sure as shit shouldn't be able to speed off from 2 direct hits to the engine in the rear. That's insane. Also, keep in mind, currently the Grenadier can only hold 2 rockets at a time. So unless they have a squaddy with them that has an HE ammo box, the tank or helicopter is not getting killed anytime soon. There is a lot of talk of the NVA being better and always winning games, which is true in my experience, but at a quick glance, both factions have their niches. US gets helicopters that can transport a squad at a moment's notice, and the North Vietnamese get tunnels that let people move quickly right after spawning at the garrison. Both are effective if used properly and make the game a lot faster than its World War II predecessor. But I will say the US requires a lot more communication between the entire team to be efficient. You need to ask a heli pilot to pick you up and take you somewhere, which may sound easy, but trust me, not everyone communicates effectively in the game. But maybe this problem will go away as people just become better at the game as time goes on. Who knows?
Yeah, I dare you to take off. I thought I was in a supply helicopter, sorry. There's still one more boots on ground?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. What the fuck? I'm never getting that guy's helicopter again.
All that being said, though, the community seems to be nice and constantly making Vietnam War movie references like Forrest Gump. Usually everyone wants to work together for the most part, but don't be surprised if you join a game with no commander and no comms between units whatsoever. I've usually had to be the icebreaker when it comes to squad and command chat, but, you know, this is a multiplayer-focused game, people. You're gonna have to talk at least a little bit.
Jigsaw, can you build a...
I put a tunnel down.
Alright, Jigsaw, can you build a tunnel on train yard where you're at? And Alpha, can you push a little to your west and build a tunnel over there?
Are you able to spotty me?
Kind of a late addition, as I didn't think I would get any footage of it, but I did play Commander a couple times now, as sometimes no one on the team wants to play it. Overall, it's what I expected, occasionally asking SLs what they need and what the battle's looking like on the ground, callouts for airstrikes and supplies, so nothing too different from the first game. One thing that I think needs to change for commanders is if they redeploy, there shouldn't be any respawn timer penalty for them, as you cannot open the map while respawning, and that is nerve-wracking as all hell for commanders. Although Hell Let Loose Vietnam has its issues, at its core, this game really reminds me of Rising Storm 2 when it launched in 2017. And if you know and remember that game, then you'll know that's quite the compliment. Both games on launch may have done the bare basic, but you knew as time goes on, the game will have more maps, factions, and weapons added to it throughout the next couple of years. But if the technical or balancing issues are a major bother for you, I'd say wait until the end of September. I think by then the game will be in a good state because the folks over at Expression Games and Team 17 seem to be very active in the community forums and also on the updating front. As a last note, I'll put it to you this way. Currently, Hell Let Loose Vietnam has been the after-dinner game that all my friends and I have been playing since this game launched. With all its flaws, we still gladly keep coming back and queuing up to play. I love this game. I will admit there needs to be some changes and fixes in a lot of places, but overall I am enjoying the hell out of it. And if you made it this far into the video, I think you will too. If you give it a chance, especially with some friends, it is a wonderful time. And again, if you're going to play consoles, there is a physical version out there, which will soon be a novel concept. But whatever platform you play Hell Let Loose Vietnam on, it's a good time. And I cannot wait for what future updates are in store for the game next year. So for the time being, I'll be in country, dudes. Peace.